Hi, this is Shadi. Recently I did a video about Rickson's randori with Nishioka and a lot of you responded very positively. I believe that that video was important to make. However, I'm going to take more of the footage today and just go over his fundamental yet very effective ne-waza against judoka from that same footage. So the thing with judo and ne-waza, sometimes unfortunately I say this, it can be very random. You have first and second degree black belt who can rival advanced jiu-jitsu practitioners, even winning sometimes in tournaments like the ne-waza cup or whatever. And also you have second and third degree black belt who a two-stripe white belt can beat them up very easily. So before we do any of that and continue on, please don't forget to check out my book, The Origins and History of Judo, translation of a manuscript from 1903, available below. So first we start, takes the back very easily, gets his hooks in, and then extends his hips in order to flatten, and gets what it looks like a hadaka jime, or a naked strangle. So here, if you want to look from the other side, from what I suspect is that he did this. So he got both hooks in, and what he would do next is that he extends his legs while extending his hips forward, and that what it'll do is it will flatten him and at the same time move him in a way that he can insert his forearm and then gets the choke. So this is not a fun position to be in, and let's take a look at it one last time. He flattens, immediately gets it in, gets the tap. So we move on. You can see him here on his knees. I believe he was fighting a white belt here. I'm not entirely sure. This is a very judo way of doing ne-waza, group fighting on the knees this way. And here he tries to get one hook in. The judoka tries to pass guard into kesagatame, but to no avail. Rickson gets a hook in, or a butterfly, what people call, and then immediately turns him over very easily. So these types of hooks, again, they're very fundamental, but they're very effective at any level. And this is something I really like about Rickson. It just looks like he's just doing very good ne-waza, which he is. None of the new stuff that you see today, or a lot of the specialized guards or expression of today's jiu-jitsu. And this is something I really like about Rickson. It's like Oda Tsunetane. If you pick out his footage, you will see a lot of Rickson stuff in it. And surely we know that his stuff comes from old school judo, because he himself is a reflection of his own generation and his father as well. So here we can clearly see it's a white belt. However, what he does is, again, one classical element that you see in jiu-jitsu and today is judo. I personally love this technique a lot, and as you can see, he is from what it looks like, he's going for a sliding collar strangle, or okuri eri jime, trying to hook the arm that's close by with the legs. But then here you can do what is called a clock choke, where you get past the axis of the shoulders, but apparently I don't think he has it just yet, the strangle, so he's not gonna proceed in doing it, otherwise he'll just lose the position. So the judoka has no option but to turtle, and then he will turn him over into what we see often here: hooks one arm and then strangles. So here's what I suspect happened. Again, the quality of the footage, and I'm not close by, so here, you don't actually have to scissor your legs around in order to get it. All you have to do is just get past the shoulder line, as you see here, and then apply downward pressure while sliding the collar across the neck. So here goes from double lapel, and then here with the armpit and the lat muscle pushes down on the neck while getting past the shoulder line and pulling on the lapel. So here, for example, it's called Jigoku Jime, or which is a variation, a very advanced variation of this strangle. And here you can see one arm is hooked while pulling on the lapel. I would suspect that this is what he did as a form of a, infernal strangle. That's what it means, Jigoku Jime. And you can easily get it. I believe Travis Stevens did it in the Rio Olympics without hooking the leg, but I do remember he was pulling on the Georgian's arm. And again, this strangle is very rich. There's endless variations to it. And here with the leg, you can also use it. So, for example, the Kanto choke is a variation of Okuri Eri Jime. And here you can see you hook. And then you turn them over, pulling the arm. And then, because now they have the crucifix, they have no defense for their neck. And from there you can just, this one I believe it's illegal because putting pressure on the neck and the spine while pushing away the head and pulling on the lapel towards you. So again, there's endless ways of doing this, but we saw Rickson do, I believe, the first variation of Jikoku Jime. Again, it's one of the richest, and here you can enter as you are rolling forward. Now let's continue on, and we see here against another one. I believe it's a black belt, I'm not entirely sure, but he passes quickly, just effortlessly almost, puts him in a Kami Shiho Gatame, or north-south for what people call in the Jiu-Jitsu terminology. And as he is bridging excessively and needlessly, that's where he gets the arm, because if he's hooking under the arm to grab the belt, the arm is readily available, and here he gets the Juji Gatame from it. So Kami Shiho is where you get underneath both arms and grab the belt. It's one of the hardest to escape, and you have to really push on the shoulders and shrimp away. Really have that explosiveness in the buttocks and the hamstrings. I've talked about these drills recently, but again, if someone knows what they're doing, it's just impossible to escape it. So here you see, of course, Juji Gatame. There's a very famous term. It says Rickson by armbar, and it's for a good reason. Again, the fundamentals will take you very far regardless of the level of the game, and it's just like everything else, music, art, whatever. So this is mainly it. You just see how easy it is. He got them, and here again, it's, I believe, towards the end of the round, gets another strangle. And so again, it's one of those things that are very unfortunate in judo. You meet a black belt and you really don't know their level. There's some that I would tap very early on in my journey, like the first 2 years of judo. I would go against these black belts and it was like, it's nothing. And there are some, especially veterans, like veterans, they have their thing where they're just so good at ne-waza and they'll just absolutely destroy you. So you really can't tell with judo, because the program is, of course, knowing what the techniques are for your exams and whatever, but due to rules, I believe a lot of them are just unfortunately neglecting them, and that's a big problem. So take from that what you will. Don't forget to check out the links below. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.